And welcome to the Loveland Report and the Loner Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's voice of real estate, and alongside Bruce Woodburn, bringing you all of your real estate and mortgage news, what's going on in Central Florida, what's going on in the housing market around the state, around the country, what you can believe, what you can dismiss from the talking heads you see on all those different networks on TV. We will give you the real stats on what's going on in Central Florida. And Bruce, I want to jump right in. Right now, we're still dealing with what I'm seeing people freak out about, and people are calling me because they need help, is coordinating the process of selling and buying, because you basically got to be either qualified to buy without selling, or you've got to get a lease back on your house. And a lot of realtors don't even know how to do that.
Well, you can get a lease on your house and you can offset the mortgage. So, for instance, a lender's going to use 75% of the gross lease.
I'm talking about just the seller being able to stay a little bit after closing.
Oh, so you're talking about the buyer.
Because you got to be able to hunt.
Buying a home, but giving the seller some leeway to stay in the house.
Because what that does is effectively give the seller another 2 to 3 months to shop for a house from the time they start their house listed up to closing, and maybe a month or so afterwards.
Guidelines are for mortgages that if a buyer buys a home as a primary residence, they must move into the home within 60 days. Mm-hmm. So you can do up to 2 months.
But because it's hard for some people to qualify without selling for both homes, and some people don't want to do that. But what I've done is arrange this. When I'm getting 20 offers, and if I tell somebody that, all right, the seller needs to stay for a couple weeks after closing for X amount of rent or no rent, I can negotiate that. I'm an expert negotiator. I do this all the time. But what that does is giving them that extra ease of mind, because getting an offer through contingent on a home closing, in a normal market, that'd be okay. But things haven't been normal since the old Wuhan lab messed us up about 2 years ago.
Yes, they have.
So how are we doing on the rates this week?
Well, you're starting to see rates pop up again. We saw some action on Tuesday. Wednesday was rocky. Listen, here's the reality of it. You know, we promised no fake news, and I hear these ads out there that, interest rates are at record lows. Here's the thing. They're at record lows compared to what they might have been 15 years ago, but they're not at record lows from what they were 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago even.
Yeah.
So we're already seeing rates creeping up. They're already in the 4s. They're going to be hitting the 5s. We expect that probably by mid-year we'll be in the 6% range for sure. So we're already in the and you can still get rates in the 3s if you have really good credit. I'm seeing a lot more people buy down rates today than they ever have. But here's the fact. Rates are up by about 1.5 points from where they were just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
The Fed hasn't even raised the Fed rate yet.
Yeah. When
the Fed raises the Fed rate 1/4 point, maybe 0.5 point, they're likely going to do that 3 times. We already know it's going to happen. So if you think rates are high now, then buy now, because they're going to get worse in a few more days. And every day I come in, the bond market's off by 20, the bond market's off by 19. Listen, Tuesday, I think we lost 60 points in the bond market.
In one day.
That's over 0.5 point to the discount point in one day.
Yeah.
So you can't look at, and listen, that's not a CrossCountry thing. That's not a Rocket thing. That's not a Bank of America thing. It's across the board. It's what the market's doing, and that's what mortgage-backed securities are doing. So expect to go up. But here's something that I think is important when you're talking about rates. If rates go up by 1% on a $350,000 house, it's going to cost you $350 more.
Yep.
If the house goes up $50,000, that's $350.
Yep.
So that's $750 a month more for the exact same house if you wait.
Yeah, if you wait.
Not even a year from now, because last year you would have made $100,000 and now you're paying $750 a month for the same payment. But if you watch the news this morning, it was all over the news that housing is rock solid and no end in sight on slowing down. That's the news.
And I think nationwide, I've got some numbers here from the National Association of Realtors talking about how, nationwide they're projecting home prices only up 3% around the country. So but Central Florida, I think we're still going to be in the double digits on that. And it's just important that people get out there. What what I feel is a shame is when I get offers from somebody and they've got a pleading, nice little letter from the seller, and it looks like a really cute, nice family, and they're like, this is the 17th home they made an offer on. I'm like, well, I think after the 5th they should have changed horses and gotten another realtor who knows how to write an offer.
Or another lender that can help them land the deal.
That too. And talk about how you fast track people and you make that honor call, because I don't have any other lenders in town doing that. But and also not making relevant offers, knowing the market and saying, wow, this house is priced right. Let's go in 5% above list. Let's go in 20,000 over list. And that's what the buyers are having to do. But I just had one. We didn't go in at list because the house had been on the market for 60 days at the same price, and all the comps.
I hear you.
You've got to be able to read the market,
and read that listing.
I could go on and on. I could go on and on about inexperienced people out there not knowing how to price.
Well, while you go on and on, I want you to know what Cleve's phone number is, and that is 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118. Or Loveland, is it cleveloveland.com, lovelandteam.com?
Either one.
I mean, you have so many websites.
I got them all back from the Russians. They finally, hacked my account. Now I got them back.
And if you'd like to call the Loan Arranger, my direct phone number is 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com. That's WeBringYouHome.com. So we talked about housing prices going up. And you just said that nationally they're predicted to go up 3%.
Yep.
Right? So I want to just put this in perspective for people, because a lot of people that haven't bought yet think that's good. A lot of people that have bought think that's not enough. But that is the national average over the long haul.
Yeah.
But I want to put this in perspective. If you bought a house and you put down 3.5% down payment.
Yep.
Okay. FHA or minimum down conventional loan. And that house went up by 3% in 1 year. You made an 86% return on your investment.
Yeah.
With 3% down.
And you weren't
3.5%.
paying rent. That's the thing. You weren't paying rent. That's the main thing too.
Listen, I don't care what interest rates are doing. They can go up. It doesn't matter as long as housing prices continue to go up, right? So we want to be in the market. There is no such thing as a rich renter. I've never met a poor land baron. I just have never met one before. And you look back in history and you go, wow, you're looking back in history. What did that person do? Owned land. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. You don't get rich by renting from other people. It doesn't happen.
Yep. And then also I love our leapfrog process where we talk about just getting one home, and then that's your primary.
Yep.
And within a year or two, move up again.
Yep. Keep that one.
And keep that one. Don't sell it. You don't have to save the 20%. You've got a great primary
Put
interest
5%
rate on that.
down on your next one.
And it's just a great process that I wish I'd known when I bought my first house at 27.
And we will teach you how to do that, how to put minimum down, buy multiple properties. I'll show you how to own 5 properties well within a 20-year period of time, all of them paid off free and clear. You got about $2.1 to $3.5 million in free and clear property if they only increase by 3% per year.
Yeah.
Only increase by 3% per
rents
year.
Rents have been going up really high, and this is going to level off the next couple of years, but rents are going up really high, and like I talk about it all the time, and Florida is moving up from number 20th most expensive state in the union. I think we're going to end up about number 15.
Yeah, well, you could be right.
People are just finally figuring out our weather's better, our taxes are less, our governor's great. COVID amplified the situation. It wasn't anything new. It just made it move faster.
Yeah, and here's another thing. The numbers came out for the 10 best cities to live in America. Now, I'm not talking about in Florida. I'm talking about in the entire country. Number 1, Tampa.
Yep.
Number 2, Jacksonville. Number 9, Central Florida, Orlando area.
Yeah, and it's just we are less expensive than the rest of the country for the most part.
And we're a desirable place to live. You got everything you want. You're 45 to 55 minutes from a beach in any direction.
What's your number, Bruce?
407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. Or my website is WeBringYouHome.com. It's WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve, what's your number?
407-352-8118. If you want to talk, I just talked to a bunch of people last night, Bruce. We had our client movie night and just talked to them And some people are asking, well, I'm not ready to move for about another 6 to 12 months. I said, I can still come over and show you what to do and what not to do. So it's just, this person was wondering about doing a new roof. I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to need to do that. It's more than 15 years old. You're going to have to do it. Then he asked about redoing his kitchen. I'm like, nope, probably not going to need to do that. Flooring, paint. I mean, typically I've got a 50-point staging checklist. Typically on let's say it's a $500,000 house, anywhere 3 to 500,000. We're spending about 2 to 3% on the home. Now, this depends on how well you've taken care of it, how much renovations you have done, how old is the home, things like that. But usually going to spend a little bit on prepping. But beyond that, above 2 or 3%, it's usually not worth it. Save that for the next house.
No, not unless you have something that people are just going to be disgusted by when you walk into your home.
Now, as these prices rise, Bruce, I want to ask you about, rates have ticked up. As these prices rise, are the jumbo rates rising too? If somebody's buying a house,
everything's rising. Whenever rates go up, they're all going to go up with it. But my jumbo rates, I mean, I priced a $2.3 million transaction the other day that was still in the mid threes and was phenomenal, 30-year fixed rate. So are they in the high twos and low threes anymore? Not generally. And believe me, don't get caught up on these mortgage companies that are starting to push adjustable rates. I'm not against adjustable rates.
I haven't seen that yet, but they're probably...
Oh my God, they're already coming out of the woodwork.
Oh wow, that's funny.
They're already coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy. It's crazy how people have forgotten what happened in 2007 and 8 and 9. They've just absolutely forgotten. They start to get really creative. I've heard some realtors going, oh, I heard this mortgage company's doing this. I'm like, that's frightening. Right? But they're doing some crazy stuff. Don't get caught up in it. Stay with tried and true. People that came to me in 2006, 5, 6, 7 that went, oh, I want the monthly adjustable with no PMI and no income, and it adjusts every month because I'm not going to keep it that long, and I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to do this, or my income's going to go up.
Jump 2%. Well,
then the bottom fell out of the market, and then they all went bankrupt and lost their homes.
Yep.
So look at fixed rates. I move into adjustable rates when we start hitting the 8s and 9s. Yeah. Then you can do an adjustable rate. Until we hit 7.5%,
you and I have been through
we're not even going to talk about
3 or 4 slowdowns, speed ups. That's what we've been through in 30 years. You've got 33 years.
Yes, at least. I got
a little note here, Bruce. How much time we got?
Well, we've got about 2 minutes.
All right. I want to talk here about. It's funny. I get calls, believe it or not, and I'll get somebody calling me. I need your foreclosure list, and I'm like, there aren't any. And I'm looking at the stats right here. Like right now in Central Florida,
how many we got?
This 1 week, there was only active listings. There was 8 foreclosures
in the entire
in Central Florida. This is the 4-county area right here for this week, and it's like. And this 1 week, 0 sold. There's only 6 short sales. So our distressed properties are at the very least to say, a minimum.
The only way anybody should go into foreclosure right now is if you're dead.
Yeah.
Right? If you're dead and you don't have anybody to sell the house and the bank took the house over. Because even if somebody died and you inherited the house, right now, it'd almost be impossible not to have equity unless you closed on a 100% VA loan last month. You probably still have money in equity in it. So it makes no sense that somebody would foreclose. But you know what? I still see people taking advantage of the whole COVID thing. They went into loan modification. They haven't made a payment
deferred
in 2
principal.
years. They haven't made a payment in 2 years. And they think that they're beating the system. These people, in my opinion, if you're listening to me, you're foolish. I'm just going to say it out loud. You are foolish.
Yep.
Don't take advantage of things. Be fair. Be an American. Pay your bills on time. Keep your credit in good shape. Do the right thing. Just because it's a bank doesn't mean you can screw them. Listen, I don't even like banks. I've been in the mortgage business my whole life. I've worked with banks my whole life. I don't even like banks, but I don't screw anybody. Don't screw the government, even though they'll probably screw you. Don't be disrespectful and dishonest about anything. You will be in good shape if you always just do the right thing. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
407-250-9144 for the right thing. 407-250-9144. I'm the Lone Ranger, CrossCountry Mortgage. WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve Loveland. He can be reached at
407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com.
We will be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger radio show. Stay tuned.
And we are back on the Loveland Report. I am Cleve Loveland, voice of real estate in Central Florida, alongside Bruce Woodburn. His first mortgage, I think he carved out in a stone tablet 30-something years ago. And right now...
3,000 years
3,000 years ago. The news right now in Central Florida, we still got a good housing market. These interest rates will slow things down, but I'm still getting 10, 20 offers on houses, Bruce.
My new clients are up by 10%.
Yeah, and it's just, I think people are realizing, and most, what's funny is, the first-time buyer is the one that needs to get in quick. Stop renting, get in.
First-time buyer is the one that's going to feel the most pain.
And real quick, I got 2 listings for the first-time buyer. I got a condo coming right on the edge of Winter Park in Orlando for $120,000.
Wonder if it'll qualify FHA.
It's an older complex, probably does. So $120,000 for that. And then I've got a starter home in St. Cloud for $285,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
How many bedrooms is that condo?
I believe it's a 2-1.
Okay, that's fine for a starter home.
But I mean,
or retired couple?
120. Usually that's half a house nowadays. That's not even half a house.
Yep.
So, but I've got these things, and the thing is, you've got to be out there looking. You got to have a realtor that will write a good offer for you. You've got to be fast-tracked with you. You need and have Bruce call the listing agent for you and say, "Hey, this deal is done. I can close this in 2 weeks if you need."
Absolutely. And you know what? If you want to get into these houses, you want to look at these properties, you have a property that you're looking at and you're missing out on transactions, stop doing that. The part of the problem is that your lender is not being an advocate for you to the listing agent or to the seller. All you have to do is call me. I'll get you fast track for your financing. Call me at 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144. or go to WeBringYouHome.com. So Cleve, here's what you love it when I do, and it works because it works for you and it works for others. Now, you're in a multiple offer situation.
Yep.
You look the same on paper as every other person that's making an offer.
Yep.
Cash might look a little prettier, but you're not cash. So what do we have to do to make the seller get the seller's attention? I pick up the phone. I call the listing agent. I review your pre-approval letter. Now, you have to be fully approved with me for me to do this. Fully approved, not pre-qualified, fully approved. Call the listing agent. I will guarantee the listing agent and the seller that I will close the transaction in 30 days or less, or I will pay the seller up to $500 American dollars per day.
Not rubles.
For every day I miss the closing.
And that's what, Bruce, you know how many calls I get like that?
Well, nobody does it.
Nobody does it.
You know what? I don't even see that. I don't ever see it because a loan officer will write a pre-approval. I got a client of yours right now. They went to the depot, got a pre-approval letter, and then they called me and I went, well, I got to do some adjustments for this for you to qualify. And they went, what do you mean? I got a pre-approval letter in 30 minutes or 30 seconds from the depot. And I'm like, well, did they see this, this, and this? No. Did they look at your loan to value? No. Did you look at your debt ratio? No. They didn't do
this is what's not in those fancy commercials. Everybody needs the same documents just about.
Everybody needs
They need them all. They need them all at once to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And
so
that's your team does a great job.
What you want to do is you want to be thorough. You don't need to be who's asking me for the least amount of documents, who's asking me for the right things to keep me safe. But how many times do you think I've had to pay for missing a closing?
Maybe once.
One time in my entire career did I pay, and I paid it.
But that making that offer look different is the difference between having to get back in the car and go through that race again, beating 10 other people to the table on the next house that pops up, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, in the neighborhood you want, in the school district you want, with the floor plan that works for your family. This is what's important about having the right team work for you. Call me, 407-352-8118. We will help you plan your next move. That's lovelandreport.com.
Yep. And if you have any questions for the loan arranger, you can reach me at 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. When we come back, Cleve, I want to talk a little bit about a Hanover Builders being sold to Land C Homes. Land C Homes, Hanover Family Builders, been sold. My favorite builder ever. And I'm going to be looking for some of our listeners' assistance on that. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that. 5 minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger radio show. I am Bruce Woodburn, and yes, I am the Loan Arranger. been here on the air with Cleve for, I'm going to guess 10 or so years, and on my own radio show for even longer than that, hosting the Lone Ranger radio show on Sundays at 11 o'clock, same station. Please tune in to me there. And I kindly ask that I'm looking for a few favors from my loyal listeners out there today. I want to tell you about a couple things I could use some help with. So as you can imagine, businesses get business and reviews through like Google reviews and Zillow reviews if you're in my business. So, and YouTube. So every time that Cleve and I record the show, or I record the Lone Ranger radio show, I tape it and I put it on YouTube. Now, a lot of folks watch that because if they can't catch me on the air, they'll catch me on the YouTube, or maybe they want to see what's going on in the studio. So they tune in and watch it. But I'm asking that you go to Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger YouTube, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's going to help me out and get me up in your ranks. You don't get spammed with a bunch of stuff. You don't get emails or anything like that. I'm not doing it to bother anybody. I'm just doing it so you could help me get up in the ranks. So there's another thing that I would like you to do, and that is to, as you know, I have been the lender for I'm going to say probably 15 years for Hanover Family Builders that recently sold to Land C Homes. Land C Homes is owned by a company out of California, and I don't know whether they're going to keep the Lone Ranger on as the official lender for Land C Homes, but I'm hoping they will. So I'm doing what I can to reach out all of the great people at Land C Homes so that they give me the opportunity to continue to help them service their communities and help their clients and continue to promote them on the air. I promote Hanover Family Builders on the air, not because they do anything for me, but because they do things for you, because they build a great home and they service a great community and they back up what they build. That's why I love Hanover Family Builders. So I'm looking for any help I can get by reaching out to the officials at Land C Homes. If you'd like to write them a letter on behalf of me, then I would be happy to pass on that information. Just text me at 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, and I'll give you the contact information for the president of the company. I want to help them. I think I do great things for them. My loan officers sit in their communities every weekend. They're there on call every weekend. They're working at nights. We're doing events in their communities. So we really love that relationship and hope that that continues as well. Moving on to other things that are super important, things that I'm doing that I'm passionate about to help people. So let's just kind of nail this out. Right now, we know interest rates are going up. They're going up, guys. They're not going to go down anytime soon. Gas prices will probably be hitting $5.50 a gallon here before you know it. I mean, this administration just does such a great job on running this country into the ground. I don't know what else to say about that, but it's just, I've never seen since Carter administration such ridiculousness. You know, I was in Costco the other day getting some new glasses, and the guy behind the counter, really nice guy. But he says to me, yeah, I really don't think our government has anything to do with the way the economy's going right now. I'm like, have you lost your crackers? Like, they're doing everything they can to screw this country up. They're letting in immigrants without paperwork or naturalization. Now, listen, I can say whatever I want about immigrants because guess what? I am an immigrant. I wasn't born in this country. I came into this country legally. I got my paperwork. I took my citizenship. I swore allegiance to the country. And I am one of the biggest patriots of the United States of America that you will ever meet. But I believe that doing it the right way is the right thing to do. So we're seeing inflation go through the roof. Now, is that just this administration's fault? No, that is administrations probably going 3 or 4 more back that caused this. Now, we're going to see inflation. It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. The train has left the station, baby, and it ain't slowing down anytime soon. We're going to take a strong president and a strong administration to get the economy in control. But if we look back in time, we can look back at when Carter was in the office, and you could say, Carter, nice guy, really good Christian man, nice guy. I liked Carter. Horrible president. But they ended up voting him out, getting him out of office, and Reagan got in there, kicked butt, but got the place straightened out, and things started to come back, and the economy went gangbusters. We need that to happen again. Now, my job is not to run the country, but my job is to run a mortgage company that gives you great service. So one of the things that I'm after and I'm really committed about is helping more first-time home buyers. Listen, folks out there, you may not be a first-time home buyer. You may not even be a home buyer, but I'm going to tell you what you are. You're a good American and you're a good person and you like helping people. So I'm trying to find people that can help me help more young folks that need some direction. So I went back and I looked at how many people do I run into that really didn't have any parental guidance or education on how to balance a checkbook, how to open up an account, how to maintain credit, how to build credit, how to open credit, how to get your first credit card. What do you do with it? How much do I charge on it? Do I pay it off zero each month? Do I go to the max and then go home and pay it off? How do I manage credit? What do I need to do to position myself so that I'm saving money for retirement? You know, nobody in their 20s thinks about saving money for their retirement. I mean, really, I didn't. I was interested in two things, and neither of them got me very far, okay? However, things changed even for the Lone Ranger, and he got straightened out. So I can come from a place where I know because I was there. Now, getting back on track as I digress. Things that no one told you how to do. Things that people that cared about you but didn't have those harsh conversations with you. Because here's the thing. If you don't know how to build credit and save money, then you are destined to be enslaved, and I'm going to use the word enslaved, into perpetual renting. And renting perpetuates poverty. And I mean poverty. You do not get rich. You will end up with nothing in the bank at the end of it all. You're not going to have that much. You're going to be the one living off Social Security, and you probably don't have a pension. So if that's what you want, keep going in that direction. If you don't want that, or you don't want that for your children or your grandchildren, then get them into my class that I'm going to be holding on April 13th at 6 p.m. This class is for 15 to 32 years old. 15 to 32. Not younger, not older. Okay? If you're older than 32, you can get into my leapfrog and wealth building class. If you're 32, and the only reason I didn't stop it at 25 is because I see some late bloomers out there and you need a little bit of help, and I'm willing to kick your butt. Okay? Now, this is going to be about how to start from the beginning. Now, if you are a parent or a grandparent that have children that are 15 to 18 years old, you should join the class. If you want to join the class and your kids are in the 20s, fine, join the class. You must register at WeBringYouHome.com. That's WeBringYouHome.com, my events page, and that is going to be on April 13th at 6 p.m. This is an outreach program. Now, listen to me. If you are a teacher, if you work with young kids, if you're a youth administrator, if you are a preacher, pastor, priest, reverend, if you're a rabbi, anything, get young folks into this class. I am structuring this class around a personal family event that I witnessed, and I went, why didn't these people have more direction? Now, I said it earlier, rent perpetuates poverty. It enslaves you into continuing to rent. Rents are going to go up 20% this year. Houses are going to probably go up about 10 to 15% this year. Interest rates are going to go up probably another 1 to 1.5%. We will be hitting the 5s before you know it. Just expect it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The Fed hadn't even raised the Fed rate yet, and rates are already pushing 4s. So don't think that that's not going to happen, because it is imminent at this particular time. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. Okay. I want to help kids, young adults. So I need you to go out and help me find people that need my help. Now, this isn't going to be a class that is designed to just butter everybody up, pat them on the back, and say, go get it. Okay? We're going to put a structured class together that people will have to do homework. I don't want people attending that don't really want to change their life. I want people to attend this class only with people that you think I can change their life. So those of you that have known me and met me, you know, I'm kind of an intense guy, right? I'm passionate about what I do, but what I do is always from the heart. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I don't mislead. And I expect the same for other people that I work with and deal with. I don't like people that fall off the rails like that. So I want people that want to learn and want to have a takeaway and are interested in changing their life. For the young folks, why am I inviting 15 to 17 years old? They can't even buy a home until you're 18. So why would I do that? So that we can prepare them, so they can get a credit card. They can learn how to balance it. They can learn how to establish credit. So when they come out of college, they've already got credit. Now, I'm not one of these guys that think that every college kid should have a credit card when they don't even have any money. This will be something that the parents will need to monitor, or somebody responsible monitoring. Stick with the rules. That's the way I want to do this. Then we're going to show you not only how to balance, open up a checking account, then how to, then I want you to then go to a place where you can open up credit cards, establish credit, so that when you come out of college, if you're going to go to college or trade school and you start earning money, you're already saving money. You need to buy your first home while you're in your 20s. If I can catch you while you're in your 20s, I'm going to show you how to get rich. It's not that hard. Once you start buying properties, I'll show you how I can take somebody, I don't care what socioeconomic you come from, makes no difference to me. I'm here to help all of you. Matter of fact, if you're a minority, I want to help you even more. I don't want to help you more. I want to help you equally as much. You know what? I did an article, and this is back about 6 months ago, on Black African-American people in today's generation are less likely to be homeowners than their previous generation. Considerably less. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? I don't know what it is, but I can tell you it's a fact. Now, we need to change that. We need to make sure that everyone from every ethnic group has an equal chance to become a homeowner. And I don't know if it's the encouragement from our parents, or if it's the education, or if it's that this new generation is getting lazy. I don't know what it is. Okay. I don't know if it's lazy or not. I certainly am not big on the video game kind of thing. And I know that my kids did that. At least my son did it. And he still does it, but he's now taking life a lot more seriously. He's already bought a home, and he's already looking at a second home. Now, getting back on track, any minority, any non-minority, anyone that wants to learn how to be successful, how to drill down on the things that are going to create generational wealth for you, I want to take you in direction, guidance, and education. You may be the first generation to be a graduate from high school, from college, to be a homeowner. Let me help you with that. Let me help you understand the language of money. I'm looking for other people to help me find these folks. 407-250-9144. I am the Lone Ranger. I am on the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger radio show. If you'd like to talk to Cleve Loveland, he just left the studio and is out meeting with some sellers today. He can be reached at 407-352-8118. That's 352-8118. I am at 407-250-9144, or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. Go to my event page and register for the outreach class on April 13th, or apply for a mortgage today at webringyouhome.com. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Welcome back to the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. I am Bruce Woodburn. I am the Lone Ranger. While Cleve Loveland is out selling property, taking listings right now, I'm going to cover the last 5 minutes of the show. We appreciate you guys listening in on this beautiful Saturday. And I can tell you something, we had a great week. But one of the things, and when I say I had a great week, my new contract transactions are up about 10%. However, we are seeing a lot of people struggle with these multiple offers. We thought it was going to get better, and I'm going to tell you something, it's not really that much better. You know, we thought we were going to go from 15 offers down to 5, and we kind of went in that direction. I'm back up to 15. Just got off the phone with one of my, with a listing agent that I called, on behalf of my buyer, because I advocate for my buyers to be able to get the listings. Let me tell you, I do that differently than every other lender I've ever heard of, because when you're fully approved with me and you're out looking at property, I'll call the seller or the seller's agent and guarantee them that I will pay them up to $500 a day for every day I miss that closing on a 30-day closing, or less, up to $5,000 for the seller. I don't pay it because I don't miss closings, but I do give the guarantee and I give it to them in writing. Now, I talked to this agent and they went, yeah, just put the house on the market. I got 9 offers on my table to review with the seller, and I got 9 more showings tomorrow. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's 18 people that want the same house. 18 people, and that's as of today. By the end of the day, God knows how many people are going to want that property. So it's tough out there. You need everything in your ballpark that you can possibly get. 407-250-9144 for the Lone Ranger. That's 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. If you have not refinanced yet, please do it now. Interest rates are going up, and they're going up fast. I want to put this in perspective when it comes to a home buying process. If you were getting a $350,000 home and interest rates go up by 1%, your payment will go up by about $350. If the house goes up by $50,000, which is very easy to have happen. I mean, come on, that's just, that's about a 12% increase. If that happens, your payments go up another $350. So why pay $700 to $750 more for the same house that you could get today? So when I have buyers that are like, I got to come in 10 grand over ask price. Yeah. But in 2 months, you made up the 10 grand. And in 4 months, you're ahead of the game. In a year from now, you're probably up $50,000 to $100,000. So it doesn't matter if you have the money. The problem is a lot of you folks don't have the money. So we have to look at other alternatives to help you become the winning offer. I help my clients become the winning offer. 407-250-9144. I'm the Lone Ranger. Been doing mortgages for 33 years come March 19th. 33 years, March 19th. Closed well over 10,000 transactions. My team is one of the top producers, not only in Central Florida, but in the nation. Why? Because we offer great service. We're a direct lender. Our rates are unbelievable. I have more loan programs than any other lender that I've ever seen. I've never seen another lender that has more options than we do. I don't have any credit score requirements on my FHA loans. No credit score requirements. If you can get approved, I'll close the loan. 407-250-9144. Go to my website right now at webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. I want to thank you guys for listening to the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. You can tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. to listen to my show, the Lone Ranger Radio Show, and I interview guests that will help you make decisions and save money in the real estate market. Please tune in, same station, 11 o'clock tomorrow. If you have any questions for me, you can text or call me at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. Text or call. Or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. And don't forget, I'm looking for pastors, priests, and anybody that can help me connect with youth for my outreach program on April 13th. We'll see you later.